Alrighty guys, let's try this again. I don't know what happened. The camera cut off. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning. I come out early this morning and finished up the port work on this. I've not touched the muffler yet. I'm not looking forward to doing the muffler mod on these. I hate doing them. But I'm not going to do a carburetor mod. This is just a work saw. I'm not going to do a carburetor mod. If it doesn't tune in right, I might do a nozzle change. But that might be about it for as far as the muffler mod goes. But I'll show you the port work on it. Real mellow intake. Opened the lowers just a little bit, textured them, moved the transfers and reshaped them. Kind of gave this one kind of like transfers like I do on some work 49 tons. Here's the exhaust. I did reshape the exhaust. I don't know if you guys can see that. I did. I typically don't do all work saws with that shape exhaust port, but this one I wanted to hopefully get just a little bit more zing out of it. But try to keep you guys in focus. But here's my hackery, for the ones that call me a hack. I don't see them posting and showing their port work, but to each their own. People just got to be mean. With the base gasket, it's sitting at 21,000 squish. With the base gasket, what I cut off this, it's total about 23 and a half off the base. No chamber work. I don't think these need it. I've welded the chambers on these and not gotten much more out of them than with no chamber work. So I'm going to run the 2-ring piston. I don't mind running that. So the numbers on this are 102, 123, and 80 for 21,000 squish, for those that are wondering. And so that's 21 degrees. Blow down 40. If I'm doing the math right, that's 43 degrees of crankcase compression. For those that want to go off that, no matter what you do inside these, you can figure out what's going on with just a little bit of math. Same if you wanted to figure out the total durations of this. It's just a little bit of math work you can figure it out. I'm supposed to have some company coming over today. If that happens, I probably won't get back on to this today, but the guy that owns it's in no rush, so I just don't get as much time out here as I would like to. But hopefully this one will run pretty good. I know a lot of people will do the 5-minute muffler mod where they just drill that out and then knock that deflector out of there. Well, I like to completely gut the muffler, weld this off, and then put a pipe in there so it's more like a 372 muffler. That's just what I like to do. They sound so much better. I think they run cooler. A lot of times if you just do that, drill a hole or whatever, they just become slobberers, and I do think they run not as well with doing that muffler. I mean, they run probably better than stock, but the muffler mod that I do to them, I think they run a little bit better, and they definitely sound way better. So with that stout cane saw with a good throat coming out of it, I mean, I don't know. That's just what I like to do on them. I've seen tons and tons of people. Tons of people have sent me pictures of how they've done it. I've done it too. I've done it to some 590s, especially if I didn't want to dig around with that for 2 or 3 hours. If they would have made this where you could have took it apart, or just a hollow can like a 4910, I would have been a lot happier. But they chose not to do that. So, but here's this video on this. I thought the Green Goblin was fixed. I put 80 miles on it, and then I stopped at a store, shut it off, went to leave the store, and it wouldn't start. It cranked. I had to crank it about 15, 20 times, and finally it started up. And when I got home, I put the computer scanner back on it, and it come up as code 11. No crank sense, or no crank signal or something to the PCM or something like that. So I don't know if I've got another bad wire, or if that Chinesium crankshaft sensor is starting to act up now. So the demons are not done in that. I'm close to hardwiring the cam and crank sensor directly to the PCM and bypass the engine harness that's looped everywhere around. I've got the schematics sitting in the truck. I could trace where the 3 wires come off the cam sensor and the 3 wires, and I could find them coming out of the ECM and just snip them and hardwire them, make my own loom, and be done with the wiring harness for the cam and crank sensor. I just don't know. I mean, it is a Chinese crankshaft sensor in it, but yeah, it was code 11 is what that thing threw. But after it started, it drove fine home. So I don't know. Just don't know. But so I'll have to tinker with that some more. And yeah, so there's an update. You guys take it easy and have a good one.